Let's see, it is 9:13 a.m. getting started this morning. Going to be reading the indictment that came out involving President Trump. But before I jump into that, and I haven't done a live in a long time, but before I jump into that, I want to talk about using AI to help me out with some of this work that I'm doing on this YouTube channel. I was recently in an article where I was talking about this very thing, but I wanted to take a moment to talk about the title of this video and the description. The title actually reads, Explosive Indictment Read Aloud of Former President Trump's Shocking Legal Fate Revealed. You know, here's what I did. I went over to ChatGPT and asked it to help me out with this title to see if it could come up with something that, sort of fit what I was trying to convey, and that would be attention grabbing. And so I asked ChatGPT, let me pull it up so I can tell you what I actually said to it. ChatGPT to help me out when it comes to figuring out what my title and description was going to be. So I said, write an attention-grabbing YouTube video title about former President Trump's indictment being read. That's it. I try to make it just very straightforward. That's all I'm going to be doing. Give me a title that I can use. And the title it came back with is what you see here, Breaking News, Explosive Indictment Read Aloud, Former President Trump's Shocking Legal Fate Revealed. Well, we're going to be going through the facts of the introduction, the actual allegations in that part. I don't know so much about legal fate being revealed, and I don't know that it's breaking anymore because this is more than a few days old here. But then I also asked it to come up with a description. Help me out. Come up with a description for me, AI. So I wrote down, I said, write a video description for a YouTube video with the title Breaking News. I used the title that it just gave me. Breaking News, Explosive Indictment Read Aloud, Former President Trump's Shocking Legal Fate Revealed, because that was the title that it gave me. And you can see what it came up with. Now, I went ahead and put some of it in the description. I am going to be tweaking this because it's not quite what I'm going for. Number one, it's just me. There's no we, so I had to change quite a bit of that. And then I want us to just pick apart some of this, because this is how information is conveyed to us now. It's sort of blown up and a little over the top in order to get the audience. I've had a little bit of concern about this myself. As I look at what some other people are doing, I'm sometimes a little turned off because they're talking about topics, but they put it out there in a very controversial way in order to get the eyeballs and to get the people on the channel to look at the video and to talk. Is that what it takes now? Is that what it takes? I guess it is. But let's go through this description that ChatGPT came up for me. It says, welcome to our channel. First of all, it's only me, where we bring you the latest and most groundbreaking news updates. In this exclusive video, well, it's exclusive only because it's mine, we present a riveting moment in American history as we witness the reading of an explosive indictment involving none other than former President Donald Trump. Brace yourself for shocking revelations that could reshape the political landscape. I mean, there are some words in there that are definitely designed to be attention-getting, probably not something that I would have come up with on my own. The riveting moment, explosive indictment, none other than brace yourself, shocking revelations that could reshape the political landscape. So, just from me sort of asking it to give me a description and looking at what it gives me back, I think it does, for this first paragraph, it does a much better job than I would do on my own, because mine would just be way boring and I don't think anybody would really care. But yeah, to me, this feels a little over the top. The second paragraph says, join us as we delve into the details of this high stakes legal drama that has captured the attention of the nation. Our team of expert analysts, okay, again, it's just me, will provide insightful commentary and in-depth analysis. I don't really plan on going that far into it. I want us to get through the facts of what they're stating in this video. I want to go through that and make sure that everybody has an opportunity to maybe just sort of click on the video and listen to what the indictment says, as opposed to sitting down and reading it themselves. I think it's like 49 pages, you guys, so it would take a while. The next paragraph says, discover the truth behind the allegations. Well, not really. This is a reading of the indictment. So I think ChatGPT maybe gets it a little wrong right there. As we bring you, as we present you with the most up-to-date information backed by reliable sources, yeah, again, a little bit much, so probably not a paragraph that I'll keep in there. Then we have stay tuned and engage in the discussion. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. And then, of course, it knows that I'm asking it to write this for a YouTube channel. So it actually says like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to ensure that you don't miss any of our breaking news updates. That right there says a lot about the fact that I asked it for a description for a YouTube video, and that it has learned, it knows that like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell is a thing that you need to say or have in the description. Don't miss this electrifying moment. Tune in now to witness the shocking revelations unfold. How many times is this thing going to say shocking before your eyes? It's an episode you won't want to miss, so join us as we explore the unfolding legal saga of former President Trump. Well, in this video, we are just going to be going over the indictment. So like I said, I do feel like it's a little over the top there, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and jump into this indictment. Let me pull this up next and get rid of me asking ChatGPT to help me out with coming up with the title and description. So give me just a second. Let me see if I can find. I always have so many tabs open. Today I'm down to actually 5 tabs though, so I guess that's not too bad. All right, present. Let's see if we can find our indictment. And this also, he actually has a co-defendant listed here too with him. All right. Although we like that, maybe we'll like this a little bit better so we can actually see and talk about it. All right, coming out of the Southern District of Florida, U.S. of A. versus Donald J. Trump and Waltine Nauta. I had to look up his name. I wasn't entirely sure how to pronounce that, but I think it's Nauta. All right, this is the indictment. The grand jury charges that, and these are the general allegations, our introduction. Defendant Donald J. Trump was the 45th President of the United States of America. He held office from January 20th, 2017 to January 20th, 2021. As president, Trump had lawful access to the most sensitive classified documents and national defense information gathered and owned by the U.S. government, including information from the agencies that comprise the United States intelligence community and the United States Department of Defense. Over the course of his presidency, Trump gathered newspapers, press clippings, letters, notes, cards, photographs, official documents, and other materials in cardboard boxes that he kept in the White House. Among the materials Trump stored in his boxes were hundreds of classified documents. The classified documents Trump stored in his boxes included information regarding defense and weapons capabilities of both the United States and foreign countries, United States nuclear programs, potential vulnerabilities of the U.S. and its allies to military attack, and plans for possible retaliation in response to a foreign attack. The unauthorized disclosure of these classified documents could put at risk the national security of the United States, foreign relations, the safety of the U.S. military and human sources, and the continued viability of sensitive intelligence collection methods. On 12 p.m. on January 20, 2021, Trump ceased to be president. As he departed the White House, Trump caused scores of boxes, many of which contained classified documents, to be transported to the Mar-a-Lago club in Palm Beach, Florida, where he maintained his residence. Trump was not authorized to possess or retain these classified documents. The Mar-a-Lago was an active social club which, between January 2021 and August 2022, hosted events for tens of thousands of members and guests. After Trump's presidency, the Mar-a-Lago Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. Nonetheless, Trump stored his boxes containing classified documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club, including in a ballroom, a bathroom and shower, an office space, his bedroom, and a storage room. On 2 occasions in 2021, Trump showed classified documents to others as follows. In January 2021, at Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster, New Jersey, during an audio recorded meeting with a writer, a publisher, and 2 members of his staff, none of whom possessed a security clearance, Trump showed and described a plan of attack that Trump said was prepared for him by the Department of Defense and a senior military official. Trump told the individuals that the plan was highly confidential and secret. Trump also said, as president, I could have declassified it, and now I can't, but this is still a secret. In August or September 2021 at the Bedminster Club, Trump showed a representative of his political action committee who did not possess a security clearance a classified map related to a military operation and told the representative that he should not be showing it to the representative and that the representative should not get too close. On March 30th, 2022, the Federal Bureau of Investigation opened a criminal investigation into the unlawful retention of classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. A federal grand jury investigation began the same month. The grand jury issued a subpoena requiring Trump to turn over all documents with classified markings. Trump endeavored to obstruct the FBI and grand jury investigations and conceal his continued retention of classified documents by, among other things, A, suggesting that his attorney falsely represent to the FBI and grand jury that Trump did not have documents called for by the grand jury subpoena, B, directing defendant Waltine Nauta to move boxes of documents to conceal them from Trump's attorney, the FBI, and the grand jury, C, suggesting that his attorney hide or destroy documents called for by the grand jury subpoena, D, providing to the FBI and grand jury just some of the documents called for by the grand jury subpoena while claiming that he was cooperating fully, and E, causing a certification to be submitted to the FBI and grand jury falsely representing that all documents called for by the grand jury subpoena had been produced, while knowing that, in fact, not all such documents had been produced. As a result of Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency and refusal to return them, hundreds of classified documents were not recovered by the U.S. government until 2022 as follows. A, on January 17th, nearly 1 year after Trump left office and after months of demands by the National Archives and Records Administration for Trump to provide all missing presidential records, Trump provided only 15 boxes, which contained 197 documents with classification markings. Oops. B, on June 3rd, in response to a grand jury subpoena demanding the production of all documents with classification markings, Trump's attorney provided to the FBI 38 more documents with classification markings. On August 8, pursuant to a court-authorized search warrant, the FBI recovered from Trump's office and a storage room at the Mar-a-Lago Club 102 more documents with classification markings. Trump's co-conspirator. Defendant Nauta was a member of the U.S. Navy stationed as a valet in the White House during Trump's presidency. Beginning in August 2021, Nauta became an executive assistant in the office of Donald J. Trump and served as Trump's personal aide or body man. Nauta reported to Trump, worked closely with Trump, and traveled with Trump. The Mar-a-Lago Club. The Mar-a-Lago Club was located on South Ocean Boulevard in Palm Beach, Florida, and included Trump's residence, more than 25 guest rooms, 2 ballrooms, a spa, a gift store, exercise facilities, office space, and an outdoor pool and patio. As of January 21, 2021, the Mar-a-Lago Club had hundreds of members and was staffed by more than 150 full-time, part-time, and temporary employees. Between January 2021 and August 2022, the Mar-a-Lago Club hosted more than 150 social events, including weddings, movie premieres, fundraisers that together drew tens of thousands of guests. The U.S. Secret Service provided protection services to Trump and his family after he left office, including at the Mar-a-Lago Club, but it was not responsible for the protection of Trump's boxes or their contents. Trump did not inform the Secret Service that he was storing boxes containing classified documents at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Classified information. National security information was information owned by, produced for, and under the control of the U.S. government. Pursuant to Executive Order 12958, signed on August 17, 1995, as amended by Executive Order 13292 on March 25, 2003, and Executive Order 13526 on December 29, 2009, national security information was classified as top secret, secret, or confidential as follows. Information was classified as top secret if the authorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause exceptionally grave damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. The information was classified as secret if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause serious damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. I don't know what to say about these. These are kind of confusing. Information was classified as confidential if the unauthorized disclosure of that information reasonably could be expected to cause damage to the national security that the original classification authority was able to identify or describe. The classification marking no foreign stood for not releasable to foreign nationals, and denoted that dissemination of that information was limited to U.S. persons. Classified information related to intelligence sources, methods, and analytical processes was designated as sensitive compartmented information, or SCI. SCI was to be processed, stored, used, or discussed in an accredited sensitive compartmented information facility, and only individuals with the appropriate security clearance and additional SCI permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information. When the vulnerability of or threat to specific classified information was exceptional, and the normal criteria for determining eligibility for access to classified information were insufficient to protect the information from unauthorized disclosure, the U.S. could establish special access programs to further protect the classified information. The number of these programs was to be kept to an absolute minimum and limited to programs in which the number of persons who ordinarily would have access would be reasonably small and commiserate with the objective of providing enhanced protection for the information involved. Only individuals with the appropriate security clearance and additional SAP permissions were authorized to have access to such national security information, which was subject to enhanced handling and storage requirements. Pursuant to Executive Order 13526, information classified at any level could be lawfully accessed only by persons determined by an appropriate U.S. government official to be eligible for access to classified information and who had signed an approved non-disclosure agreement, who received a security clearance, and who had a need to know the classified information. After his presidency, Trump was not authorized to possess or retain classified documents. Executive Order 13526 provided that a former president could obtain a waiver of the need to know requirement if the agency head or senior agency official of the agency that originated the classified information, one, determined in writing that access was consistent with the interest of national security, and two, took appropriate steps to protect classified information from unauthorized disclosure or compromise and ensured that the information was safeguarded in a manner consistent with the order. Trump did not obtain any such waiver after his presidency. The executive branch departments and agencies whose classified documents Trump retained after his presidency. As part of his official duties as president, Trump received intelligence briefings from high-level U.S. government officials, including briefings from the director of the CIA, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, senior White House officials, and a designated briefer. He regularly received a collection of classified intelligence from the U.S. intelligence community known as the President's Daily Brief. The USIC's mission was to collect, analyze, and deliver foreign intelligence and counterintelligence information to America's leaders, including the president, policymakers, law enforcement, and the military, so they could make sound decisions to protect the U.S. The USIC consisted of U.S. executive branch departments and agencies responsible for the conduct of foreign relations and the protection of national security. After his presidency, Trump retained classified documents originated by or implicating the equities of multiple USIC members and other executive branch departments and agencies, including the following. A. The Central Intelligence Agency. The CIA was responsible for providing intelligence on foreign countries and global issues to the president and other policy makers to help them make national security decisions. The Department of Defense. DoD was responsible for providing the military forces needed to deter war and ensure national security. Some of the executive branch agencies comprising the USIC were within DoD. The National Security Agency. The NSA was a combat support agency within DoD and a member of the USIC responsible for foreign signals intelligence and cybersecurity. This included collecting, processing, and disseminating to U.S. policymakers and military leaders foreign intelligence derived from communications and information systems, protecting national security systems, and enabling computer network operations. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. The National Geospatial Intelligence Agency was a combat support agency within DoD responsible for the exploitation and analysis of imagery, imagery intelligence, and geospatial information in support of the national security objectives of the U.S. and the geospatial intelligence requirements of DoD, the Department of State, and other federal agencies. The National Reconnaissance Office. The National Reconnaissance Office was an agency within DoD responsible for developing, acquiring, launching, and operating space-based surveillance and reconnaissance systems that collected and delivered intelligence to enhance national security. The Department of Energy. The Department of Energy was responsible for maintaining a safe, secure, and effective nuclear deterrent to protect national security, including ensuring the effectiveness of the U.S. nuclear weapons stockpile without nuclear explosive testing. The Department of State and Bureau of Intelligence and Research. The Department of State was responsible for protecting and promoting U.S. security, prosperity, and democratic values. Within the Department of State, the Bureau of Intelligence and Research was a member of the USIC and responsible for providing intelligence to inform diplomacy and support U.S. diplomats. Trump's public statements on classified information. As a candidate for the President of the United States, Trump made the following public statements, among others, about classified information. On August 18, 2016, Trump stated, "In my administration, I'm going to enforce all laws concerning the protection of classified information. No one will be above the law." On September 6, 2016, Trump stated, "We also need to fight this battle by collecting intelligence and then protecting our classified secrets. We can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified." On September 7, 2016, Trump stated, "One of the first things we must do is to enforce all classification rules and to enforce all laws related to the handling of classified information." On September 19, 2016, Trump stated, "We also need the best protection of classified information." On November 3, 2016, Trump stated, "Service members here in North Carolina have risked their lives to acquire classified intelligence to protect our country." As President of the U.S., on July 26, 2018, Trump issued the following statement about classified information. "As the head of the executive branch and commander-in-chief, I have a unique constitutional responsibility to protect the nation's classified information, including by controlling access to it. More broadly, the issue of a former executive branch official's security clearance raises larger questions about the practice of former officials maintaining access to our nation's most sensitive secrets long after their time in government has ended. Such access is particularly inappropriate when former officials have transitioned into highly partisan positions and seek to use real or perceived access to sensitive information to validate their political attacks. Any access granted to our nation's secrets should be in furtherance of national, not personal, interests." Trump's retention of classified documents after his presidency. In January 2021, as he was preparing to leave the White House, Trump and his White House staff, including Nauda, packed items, including some of Trump's boxes. Trump was personally involved in this process. Trump caused his boxes containing hundreds of classified documents to be transported from the White House to the Mar-a-Lago Club. From January through March 15, 2021, some of Trump's boxes were stored in the Mar-a-Lago Club's white and gold ballroom, in which events and gatherings took place. Trump's boxes were for a time stacked on the ballroom's stage, as depicted in the photograph below, redacted to obscure an individual's identity. On March 2021, Nauta and others moved some of Trump's boxes from the white and gold ballroom to the business center at the Mar-a-Lago Club. On April 5, 2021, an employee of the office of Donald J. Trump, Trump employee number 1, texted another employee of that office, Trump employee number 2, to ask whether Trump's boxes could be moved out of the business center to make room for staff to use it as an office. Trump employee number 2 replied, "Whoa, okay, so POTUS specifically asked Walt for those boxes to be in the business center because they are his papers." Later that day, Trump employee 1 and Trump employee 2 exchanged the following text messages. Trump employee 2, "We can definitely make it work if we move his papers into the lake room." Trump employee number 1, "There is still a little room in the shower where his other stuff is. Is it only his papers he cares about? There's some other stuff in there, but they are not papers. Could that go to storage, or does he want everything in there on property?" Trump employee number 2, "Yes, anything that's not the beautiful mind paper box." I'm sorry. Trump employee number 2, "Yes, anything that's not the beautiful mind paper boxes can definitely go into storage. Want to take a look at the space and start moving tomorrow a.m.?" After the text exchange between Trump employee number 1 and Trump employee number 2 in April 2021, some of Trump's boxes were moved from the business center to a bathroom and shower in the Mar-a-Lago Club's lake room, as depicted in the photograph below. On May 2021, Trump directed that a storage room on the ground floor of the Mar-a-Lago Club, the storage room, be cleaned out so that it could be used to store his boxes. The hallway leading to the storage room could be reached from multiple outside entrances, including one accessible from the Mar-a-Lago Club pool patio through a doorway that was often kept open. The storage room was near the liquor supply closet, linen room, lock shop, and various other rooms. On June 24, 2021, Trump's boxes that were in the lake room were moved to the storage room. After the move, there were more than 80 boxes in the storage room, as depicted in the photographs below. On December 2021, Nauta found several of Trump's boxes fallen and their contents spilled onto the floor of the storage room, including a document marked Secret REL to USA FVEY, which denoted that the information in the document was releasable only to the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, consisting of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Nauta texted Trump employee 2, "I opened the door and found this." Nauta also attached 2 photographs he took of the spill. Trump employee 2 replied, oh no, and "I'm sorry, POTUS had my phone." One of the photographs Nauta texted to Trump employee 2 is depicted below with the visible classified information redacted. Trump's unlawful retention of this document is charged in count 8 of this indictment. Trump's disclosures of classified information in private meetings. In May 2021, Trump caused some of his boxes to be brought to his summer residence at the Bedminster Club. Like the Mar-a-Lago Club after Trump's presidency, the Bedminster Club was not an authorized location for the storage, possession, review, display, or discussion of classified documents. On July 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump gave an interview in his office at the Bedminster Club to a writer and a publisher in connection with a then forthcoming book. 2 members of Trump's staff also attended the interview, which was recorded with Trump's knowledge and consent. Before the interview, the media had published reports that at the end of Trump's term as president, a senior military official purportedly feared that Trump might order an attack on country A, and that the senior military official advised Trump against doing so. Upon greeting the writer, publisher, and his 2 staff members, Trump stated, Look what I found. This was the senior military official's plan of attack. Read it and just show. It's interesting. Later in the interview, Trump engaged in the following exchange. Trump, well, with the senior military official, let me see that. I'll show you an example. He said that I wanted to attack country A. Isn't it amazing? I have a big pile of papers. This thing just came up. Look, this was him. They presented me this. This is off the record, but they presented me this. This was him. This was the Defense Department and him. Writer, wow. Trump, we looked at some. This was him. This wasn't done by me. This was him. All sorts of stuff, pages long. Look. Staffer, Trump, wait a minute. Let's see here. Staffer, laughter, yeah. Trump, I just found, isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Staffer, Trump, except it is like highly confidential. Staffer, yeah, laughter. Trump, secret. This is secret information. Look at this. You attack and Trump, by the way, isn't that incredible? Staffer, yeah. Trump, I was just thinking because we were talking about it and you know, he said he wanted to attack country A and what? Staffer, you did. Trump, this was done by the military and given to me. Oh, I think we can probably write. Staffer, I don't know. Well, we'll have to see. Yeah, we'll have to try to, Trump, declassify it. Staffer, figure out a, yeah. Trump, see, as president, I could have declassified it. Staffer, yeah, laughter. Trump, now I can't, you know, but this is still a secret. Staffer, yeah, laughter. Now we have a problem. Trump, isn't that interesting? At the time of this exchange, the writer, the publisher, and Trump's two staff members did not have security clearances or any need to know any classified information about a plan of attack on country A. In August or September 2021, when he was no longer president, Trump met in his office at the Bedminster Club with a representative of his Political Action Committee, the PAC representative. During this meeting, Trump commented that an ongoing military operation in country B was not going well. Trump showed the PAC representative a classified map of country B and told the PAC representative that he should not be showing the map to the PAC representative and to not get too close. The PAC representative did not have security clearance or any need to know classified information about the military operation. On February 16, 2017, 4 years before Trump's disclosures of classified information set forth above, Trump said at a press conference, "The first thing I thought of when I heard about it is, how does the press get this information that's classified? How do they do it? You know why? Because it's an illegal process, and the press should be ashamed of themselves. But more importantly, the people that gave out the information to the press should be ashamed of themselves. Really ashamed." Trump's production of 15 cardboard boxes to the National Archives and Records Administration. Beginning on May 2021, the National Archives and Records Administration, which was responsible for archiving presidential records, repeatedly demanded that Trump turn over presidential records that he had kept in his presidency. On multiple occasions, beginning in June, NARA, and this is National Archives and Records Administration, warned Trump through his representatives that if he did not comply, it would refer the matter of the missing records to the Department of Justice. Between November 2021 and January 2022, NARA and Trump Employee 2, at Trump's direction, brought boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence for Trump to review. On November 12, 2021, Trump Employee 2 provided Trump a photograph of his boxes in the storage room by taping it to one of the boxes that Trump employee number 2 had placed in Trump's residence. Trump employee number 2 provided Trump the photograph so that Trump could see how many of his boxes were stored in the storage room. The photograph shown below depicted a wall of the storage room against which dozens of Trump's boxes were stacked. On November 17, 2021, Nauta texted Trump employee 2 about the photograph Trump employee 2 had provided to Trump, stating, "He mentioned about a picture of the boxes. He wants me to see it." Trump employee number 2 replied, "Calling you shortly." On November 25, 2021, Trump employee 2 texted Nauta about Trump's review of the contents of his boxes, asking, "Has he mentioned boxes to you? I delivered some, but I think he may need more. Could you ask if he'd like more in Pine Hall?" Pine Hall was an entry room in Trump's residence. Nauta replied in 3 successive text messages. "Nothing about boxes yet. He has one he's working on in Pine Hall. Knocked out 2 boxes yesterday." On November 29, 2021, Trump employee 2 texted Nauta asking, "Next you are on property, no rush. Could you help me bring 4 more boxes up?" Nauta replied, "Yes, of course." On December 29, 2021, Trump employee number 2 texted a Trump representative who was in contact with Nauta, Trump representative number 1, "Box answer will be wrenched out of him today, promise." The next day, Trump representative 1 replied in 2 successive text messages, "Hey, just checking on boxes. Would love to have a number to them today." Trump employee 2 spoke to Trump and then responded a few hours later in 2 successive text messages. 12 is his number. On January 13, 2022, Nauta texted Trump employee 2 about Trump's tracking of boxes, stating, "He's tracking the boxes. More to follow today on whether he wants to go through more today or tomorrow." Trump employee 2 replied, "Thank you." On January 15, 2022, Nauta sent Trump employee 2 4 successive text messages. One thing he asked was for new covers for the boxes for Monday morning. "Can we get new box covers before giving these to them on Monday? They have too much writing on them. I marked too much." Trump employee 2 replied, "Yes, I will get that." On January 17, 2022, Trump employee number 2 and Nauta gathered 15 boxes from Trump's residence, loaded the boxes into Nauta's car, and took them to a commercial truck for delivery to Nauta. When interviewed by the FBI on May 20, 2022, regarding the location and movement of boxes before the production to Nauta made false and misleading statements as set forth in count 38 of his indictment, including A, falsely stating that he was not aware of Trump's boxes being brought to Trump's residence for his review before Trump provided 15 boxes to Nauta in January 2022. B, falsely stating that he did not know how the boxes that he and Trump employee number 2 brought from Trump's residence to the commercial truck for delivery to Nauta on January 17, 2022 had gotten to the residence. And C, when asked whether he knew where Trump's boxes had been stored before they were in Trump's residence and whether they had been in a secure and locked location, Nauta falsely responded, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I honestly just don't know." When the 15 boxes that Trump had provided reached Nauta in January 2022, Nauta reviewed the contents and determined that 14 of the boxes contained documents with classification markings. Specifically, as the FBI later determined, the boxes contained 197 documents with classified markings, of which 98 were marked secret, 30 were marked top secret, and the remainder were marked confidential. Some of these documents also contain SCI and SAP markings. On February 9, 2022, NARA referred the discovery of classified documents in Trump's boxes to the Department of Justice for investigation. The FBI and grand jury investigations. On March 30, 2022, the FBI opened a criminal investigation. On April 26, 2022, a federal grand jury opened an investigation. The defendant's concealment of boxes. On May 11, 2022, the grand jury issued a subpoena, the May 11th subpoena, to the office of Donald J. Trump, requiring the production of all documents with classification markings in the possession, custody, or control of Trump or the office of Donald J. Trump. Two attorneys representing Trump, Trump Attorney Number 1 and Trump Attorney Number 2, informed Trump of the May 11th subpoena, and he authorized Trump Attorney Number 1 to accept service. On May 22, 2022, Nauta entered the storage room at 3:47 p.m. and left approximately 34 minutes later, carrying one of Trump's boxes. On May 23, 2022, Trump met with Trump Attorney Number 1 and Trump Attorney Number 2 at the Mar-a-Lago Club to discuss the response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump Attorney Number 1 and Trump Attorney Number 2 told Trump that they needed to search for documents that would be responsive to the subpoena and provide a certification that there had been compliance with the subpoena. Trump, in sum and substance, made the following statements, among others, as memorialized by Trump Attorney Number 1. I don't want anybody looking. I don't want anybody looking through my boxes. I really don't. I don't want you looking through my boxes. Well, what happens if we just don't respond at all or don't play ball with them? Wouldn't it be better if we just told them we don't have anything here? Well, look, isn't it better if there are no documents? While meeting with Trump Attorney Number 1 and Trump Attorney Number 2 on May 23rd, Trump, in sum and substance, told the following story as memorialized by Trump Attorney Number 1. Attorney: he was great. He did a great job. You know what? He said that it was him, that he was the one who deleted all of her emails, the 30,000 emails, because they basically dealt with her scheduling and her going to the gym and her having beauty appointments. And he was great. So she didn't get in any trouble because he said that he was the one who deleted them. Trump related the story more than once that day. On May 23rd, Trump also confirmed his understanding with Trump Attorney Number 1 that Trump Attorney Number 1 would return to the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2nd to search for any documents with classification markings to produce in response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump Attorney Number 1 made it clear to Trump that Trump Attorney Number 1 would conduct the search for responsive documents by looking through Trump's boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago Club. Trump indicated that he wanted to be at the Mar-a-Lago Club when Trump Attorney 1 returned to review his boxes on June 2nd, and that Trump would change his summer plans to do so. Trump told Trump Attorney Number 2 that Trump Attorney Number 2 did not need to be present for the review of boxes. After meeting with Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 2 on May 23rd, Trump delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club to the Bedminster Club for the summer so that he could be present at the Mar-a-Lago Club on June 2nd when Trump Attorney Number 1 returned to review the boxes. Whoa. Between Trump's May 23rd meeting with Trump Attorney Number 1 and Trump Attorney Number 2 to discuss the May 11th subpoena and June 2nd, when Trump Attorney Number 1 returned to the Mar-a-Lago Club to review the boxes in the storage room, Nauta removed, at Trump's direction, a total of approximately 64 boxes from the storage room and brought them to Trump's residence as set forth below. A. On May 24, 2022, between 5:30 p.m. and 5:38 p.m., Nauta removed 3 boxes from the storage room. On May 30th, 2022, at 9:08 a.m., Trump and Nauta spoke by phone for approximately 30 seconds. Between 10:02 a.m. and 11:51 a.m., Nauta removed a total of approximately 50 boxes from the storage room. On May 30th, 2022, at 12:33 p.m., a Trump family member texted Nauta, "Good afternoon, Walt. Happy Memorial Day. And look at my stuff just scrolling without me. I saw you put boxes to POTUS room. Just FYI, and I will tell him as well. Not sure how many he wants to take on Friday on the plane. We will not have room for them. Plane will be full with luggage. Thank you. Nauta replied, "Good afternoon, ma'am," smiley face emoji. "Thank you so much. I think he wanted to pick from them. I don't imagine him wanting to take the boxes. He told me to put them in the room and that he was going to talk to you about them." On June 1st, 2022, beginning at 12:52 p.m., Nauta removed approximately 11 boxes from the storage room. On June 1st, 2022, Trump spoke with Trump attorney number 1 by phone and asked whether Trump attorney number 1 was coming to the Mar-a-Lago club the next day and for exactly what purpose. Trump attorney 1 reminded Trump that Trump attorney 1 was going to review the boxes that had been transported from the White House and remained in storage at the Mar-a-Lago club so that Trump attorney 1 could have a custody of records certify that the May 11th subpoena had been complied with fully. On June 2nd, 2022, the day that Trump attorney 1 was scheduled to review Trump's boxes in the storage room, Trump spoke with Nauta on the phone at 9:29 a.m. for approximately 24 seconds. Later that day, between 12:33 p.m. and 12:52 p.m., Nauta and an employee of the Mar-a-Lago club moved approximately 30 boxes from Trump's residence to the storage room. In sum, between May 23, 2022 and June 2, 2022, before Trump attorney 1's review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, Nauta, at Trump's direction, moved approximately 64 boxes from the storage room to Trump's residence and brought to the storage room only approximately 30 boxes. Neither Trump nor Nauta informed Trump attorney 1 of this information. False certification to the FBI and grand jury. On the afternoon of June 2, 2022, as Trump had been informed, Trump attorney arrived at the Mar-a-Lago club to review Trump's boxes to look for documents with classification markings in response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump met with Trump attorney 1 before Trump attorney 1 conducted the review. Nauta escorted Trump attorney 1 to the storage room. Between 3:53 p.m. and 6:23 p.m., Trump attorney 1 reviewed the contents of Trump's boxes in the storage room. Trump attorney 1 located 38 documents with classification markings inside the boxes, which Trump attorney 1 removed and placed in a Redwell folder. Trump attorney 1 contacted Nauta and asked him to bring clear duct tape to the storage room, which Nauta did. Trump attorney 1 used the clear duct tape to seal the Redwell folder with the documents with classification markings inside. After Trump attorney 1 finished sealing the Redwell folder containing the documents with classification markings that he had found inside Trump's boxes, Nauta took Trump attorney 1 to a dining room in the Mar-a-Lago club to meet with Trump. After Trump attorney 1 confirmed that he was finished with his search of the storage room, Trump asked, "Did you find anything? Is it bad? Good?" Trump and Trump attorney 1 then discussed what to do with the Redwell folder containing documents with classification markings and whether Trump attorney 1 should bring them to his hotel room and put them in a safe there. During that conversation, Trump made a plucking motion as memorialized by Trump attorney 1. He made a funny motion as though, well, okay, why don't you take them with you to your hotel room? And if there's anything really bad in there, like, pluck it out. And that was the motion that he made. He didn't say that. That evening, Trump attorney 1 contacted the Department of Justice and requested that an FBI agent meet him at the Mar-a-Lago club the next day, June 3rd, so that he could turn over the documents responsive to the May 11th subpoena. Also that evening, Trump attorney 1 contacted another Trump attorney 3, and asked her if she would come to the Mar-a-Lago club the next morning and act as a custodian of records and sign a certification regarding the search for documents with classification markings in response to the May 11th subpoena. Trump attorney 3, who had no role in the review of Trump's boxes in the storage room, agreed. The next day, on June 3, 2022, at Trump attorney 1's request, Trump Attorney 3 signed a certification as the custodian of records for the office of Donald J. Trump and took it to the Mar-a-Lago Club to provide it to the Department of Justice and FBI. In the certification, Trump Attorney 3, who performed no search of Trump's boxes, had not reviewed the May 11th subpoena and had not reviewed the contents of the Red Roll folder, stated among other things that based upon the information that had been provided to her, A, a diligent search was conducted of the boxes that were removed from the White House to Florida. B, this search was conducted after receipt of the subpoena in order to locate any and all documents that were responsive to the subpoena. And C, any and all responsive documents accompany this certification. These statements were false because, among other reasons, Trump had directed NAUDA to move boxes before Trump Attorney 1's June 2nd review, so that many boxes were not searched, and many documents responsive to the May 11th subpoena could not be found, and in fact were not found by Trump Attorney 1. Shortly after Trump Attorney 3 executed the false certification on June 3rd, 2022, Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 met at the Mar-a-Lago Club with personnel from the Department of Justice and FBI. Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 turned over the Red Roll folder containing documents with classification markings, as well as the false certification signed by Trump Attorney 3 as custodian of records. Trump, who had delayed his departure from the Mar-a-Lago Club, joined Trump Attorney 1 and Trump Attorney 3 for some of the meeting. Trump claimed to the Department of Justice and the FBI that he was a, quote, an open book, unquote. Earlier that day, NAUDA and others loaded several of Trump's boxes, along with other items, on aircraft that flew Trump and his family north for the summer. The court authorized a search of the Mar-a-Lago Club. On July 2022, the FBI and grand jury obtained and reviewed surveillance video from the Mar-a-Lago Club showing the movement of boxes set forth above. On August 8, 2022, the FBI executed a court-authorized search warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club. The search warrant authorized the FBI to search for and seize, among other things, all documents with classification markings. During the execution of the warrant at the Mar-a-Lago Club, the FBI seized 102 documents with classification markings in Trump's office and the storage room as follows. Location: Trump's office. Number of documents: 27. Classification markings: top secret 6, secret 18, confidential 3. Location: storage room. Number of documents: 75. Classification markings: top secret 11, secret 36, confidential 28. All right, so next comes up the counts that they're actually going through, and that is actually where I'm going to end this one because I need a break and I kind of want to sort of wrap this one up here. So that was a lot. The whole thing, like I said, is like 49 pages. That gets us through pretty much half of it. I think we're on like page 29, but that's a lot. That gives you the breakdown of all of the facts, who were involved. You had 3 different attorneys who were involved. You were able to see how the allegations in this indictment are saying that he had boxes moved at his direction prior to his attorney coming and certifying, being able to certify that, hey, there's nothing else left because we put everything in this folder and we're going to have this certification. It is interesting that Attorney 1 called up and asked Attorney 3 to come sign the certification. It's almost like Attorney 1 didn't want to be on the hook in case something was not right. I don't know why you would put another person in a predicament to sign something that you're so concerned about you won't sign yourself. And regarding Attorney 3, why would you sign something when you can't really attest to anything that you just signed for? You just signed stating these things, and you're not even sure that that happened, and yet you're willing to do that. Again, there were just people who, I don't know, were just doing things without thinking some of these things through. But you got to hear a little bit of what's in the indictment regarding some of the sharing of information with a writer, with a publisher, where some of the documents were stored. You saw in the pictures, it's a little hard to see in that particular indictment, but you saw storage boxes in a bathroom next to a shower. You saw storage boxes in a storage room. And you got to hear some of the other places where they were talking about moving storage boxes. Now, the piece about Nauta is a little interesting because it does make you wonder why he just didn't say what was done instead of trying to make it sound like he didn't know when he actually knew. I'm not sure where he thought that was going to go, or why he thought it was a good idea not to be forthcoming with the FBI, or whether or not he had an opportunity to have legal representation of his own that then advised him, this is how you want to go into this conversation with the FBI. It could have been that those conversations with the FBI and Nauta were had so far in advance that he didn't realize that his statements could be used against him later, that he possibly was not thinking that through at the time, and he thought he was just making some off-the-cuff statements. I don't know, but looking back at this point, if he did not have legal representation at the time, he is probably thinking now that he wishes he had had some legal representation or someone to advise him about, being truthful when you're having conversations with federal law enforcement agencies and their representatives. Not a good deal to lie. If you can't remember, then you can't remember. But if there's something showing your active involvement, showing you removing boxes, then don't say you didn't remove boxes, because you know you did. And that there's video out there showing you did. To say you don't remember, I don't know. I don't know what was going on through his head and why he made the decision to do that. But again, this is part one. We're going to see how this continues to develop. I'm going to do a separate video that goes over the actual count. I think a lot of this, I haven't looked at it yet, except for you saw me scroll that page. That's about as far as I've gotten. I think a lot of it has to do with the willful decision regarding these documents. It's hard to talk about this sometimes and help people understand the distinction here. When you do something where you actively intend to deceive, or you willingly make a choice to deceive other parties, to lie, to hide, to take some sort of action, or to even have the mental state that you know what you're doing, is very different from a person who really and truly just messed some stuff up. Like, we walked out of the room with the wrong boxes and didn't realize we had the wrong boxes, as opposed to saying, no, I'm taking this stuff with me. Oh, they're asking about it, just tell them we don't have it, or just put them in another room. Those are very different kinds of actions. One has to do more with negligence, and the other has to do with intentionality. And that's the difference here. And I think once we get into these counts, that's where we're going to go. We're going to go over here to him taking intentional actions, him directing other people to take intentional actions, him making intentional statements. I think a lot of that is going to be framed that way. And then maybe some conspiracy because there was more than one person involved, and then they took an active step toward what it is they were trying to do. So it's very different from just people messing up. And while sometimes there can be legal consequences when we mess up. I mean, that happens. You get into a car accident. You didn't necessarily mean to run into the person, but the person may wind up suing you for damaging their car if they don't get enough from the insurance company or something like that. But those tend to be, negligence oriented. You didn't really try to do that. It just happened. So I think that's going to be the difference as we get into the second video. I may try to get to that, I may not, but we'll see. But let me know in the comments your thoughts. That was pretty long. Hope you followed it, and I hope that gave you a really good sort of overview of what is being alleged here about what happened. Just clear out reading the indictment so that we can actually see what it says and understand what it says. Hopefully you're a little bit more informed now. If you are, please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a thing. Mwah. Peace. And now I get to turn off the live. It's been a while.